Have you ever wondered how the simplest touches can create a deeper bond with your partner? In today's video, we're diving into the psychology of intimacy and revealing 6 key points on a woman's body that, when touched with care, can completely transform your connection, both physically and emotionally. We'll break down why these small, thoughtful gestures matter, how to approach them with intention, and the surprising psychological impact they can have on building trust, desire, and closeness. But we're not stopping there. We're also weaving in timeless lessons from Stoicism, showing you how patience, presence, and mindfulness can turn these intimate moments into something truly profound. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the physical side of intimacy, but also the emotional depth it brings. Whether it's a soft touch on the lips or a gentle caress in a sensitive area, you'll learn how to create more meaningful and fulfilling experiences together. So get ready to discover the secrets that can strengthen your bond and bring a new level of closeness to your relationship. But before we dive in, just take a quick moment to check if you're subscribed to the channel. We've got a series of upcoming videos packed with tips to help you improve your life. So, let's get started with the first one. Number 1. Placing a finger in a woman's mouth. When a man gently places his finger in a woman's mouth, it can be a very intimate gesture that goes beyond just touch. It's a sign of deep trust, vulnerability, and respect between both partners. The woman's openness in this moment shows a willingness to trust her partner both emotionally and physically. This kind of vulnerability strengthens the bond between them, making their connection even deeper. When the man's finger touches her lips, it's not just a simple touch, it can actually spark a wave of feelings and sensations. The lips are one of the most sensitive parts of the body, filled with nerves that react to even the smallest contact. So, when his finger softly brushes against her lips, it creates a special moment that feels both tender and intimate. This touch builds a bridge between physical connection and emotional closeness, making them feel even more connected. The woman might feel a mix of calm and excitement as her body responds to the gentle pressure and movement of his finger. Her brain gets signals that this touch is soothing, but also thrilling, creating a unique mix of pleasure and anticipation. The buildup of what might happen next makes everything feel even more exciting. When she starts to suck on his finger, the gentle, rhythmic motion strengthens the connection between them, quickly raising her excitement and desire. This act deepens their bond and makes the experience even more intense, blending physical pleasure with emotional closeness. This simple act may seem small, but it actually involves multiple senses, creating a loop of pleasure and excitement. The gentle movement of her mouth, along with the taste and feel of his finger, can turn into a deeply sensual experience that builds her desire even more. This act doesn't just stimulate one partner, it brings both closer together, making them feel more connected and sharing in the pleasure. What makes this gesture so special is how it creates a strong emotional bond. It's not just about the physical touch, but what it represents: trust, closeness, and unity. Both partners are letting their guard down, sharing a vulnerable and intimate moment. This kind of openness strengthens their trust and brings them even closer together, both emotionally and physically. This act becomes a personal way of showing their feelings for each other without needing words. It's like a secret language that only they share, communicating love, desire, and connection. The impact of this gesture goes beyond just the moment. It can become a cherished memory, something they can think back on to feel close again, especially during tough times or when they're apart. The trust and closeness they build through these small gestures can help them face challenges together, with a deeper bond that supports their relationship. In conclusion, placing a finger in a woman's mouth might seem simple, but it's actually a deeply intimate and meaningful gesture. It's all about trust, vulnerability, and connection. This small act can create a powerful sensory and emotional experience that brings partners closer together, reminding them of the special bond they share. It's a connection that goes beyond just the physical, touching the heart of their relationship. Now let's move on to number 2. Inserting a finger into a woman's vagina. When a man does this gently and with care, it can be a deeply intimate and pleasurable moment for both partners. It shows a high level of trust, as the woman is allowing her partner to explore a very private and sensitive part of her body. The feeling of a finger inside her can stimulate a lot of nerve endings, creating pleasure that spreads throughout her whole body. A woman may want her partner to continue this intimate touch because the gentle rhythmic movements can bring waves of pleasure. Whether the pressure is soft or firm, based on her preference, it can stimulate areas like the G-spot, increasing her arousal and making the physical connection even stronger. The key is for the man to pay close attention to her reactions, adjusting his touch to make sure she feels comfortable and fully enjoys the experience. This gentle touch can help her body produce more natural lubrication, which makes everything feel better and prepares her for even deeper intimacy. The act itself isn't just about the physical sensation, it also creates a stronger emotional connection between the partners, making the experience both pleasurable and meaningful. When a man inserts his finger into a woman's vagina, it can be the beginning of more intimate moments. It helps her become fully aroused, getting her body ready for what might come next. Beyond the physical pleasure, this act can make her feel truly cared for and desired, which deepens their emotional bond. When both physical and emotional pleasure come together, it strengthens the relationship, making it more satisfying and fulfilling. This simple act is also a way for partners to explore each other's bodies and discover what brings the most joy. Women often appreciate when men take the time to learn what makes them feel good. By gently inserting his finger and carefully paying attention to her reactions, a man can learn exactly what pleases her the most. This kind of attentiveness shows that he values and respects her, which makes the entire experience even better. As the pleasure builds up during this moment, it can become incredibly exciting, making her crave even more intimate time together. When the touch is slow, thoughtful, and gentle, it helps her relax and enjoy the experience more fully, making it even more satisfying for many women. The main goal during this moment is often to help her become fully aroused before moving on to sex. By building up the excitement gradually through gentle finger stimulation, it can make the act of sex that follows even more intense and enjoyable. When she feels fully prepared, it usually leads to a more satisfying and pleasurable experience for both partners. By paying close attention to what she needs and wants, the man can deepen their connection, making the whole experience even more meaningful. This kind of intimate moment can also bring them closer emotionally. Trust and vulnerability play a big role here. Allowing someone to explore such a private part of your body strengthens the emotional bond, building mutual respect and affection. When partners share this kind of pleasure, it helps them feel more in sync with each other's desires and needs, improving the overall quality of their relationship. Finger stimulation also acts as a form of communication, letting both partners express what they like and want, which brings them even closer. In short, inserting a finger into a woman's vagina is a highly intimate and pleasurable act that can deepen both the physical and emotional connection between partners. It's a sign of trust and vulnerability, and it helps partners better understand each other's bodies and desires. This act also sets the stage for more passionate sexual experiences, allowing her to be fully aroused and ready for intercourse. When a man takes the time to explore and stimulate his partner, it can make the experience more satisfying and enjoyable for both, strengthening their bond and bringing them closer emotionally. The intimacy created through this kind of act can improve the overall connection in the relationship, helping both partners understand each other's desires and needs better. Number 3. Touching the hands. Touching a woman's hands might seem like a small, everyday action, but it's actually quite powerful when done with intention. Think about it. Our hands are one of the most sensitive parts of our body. When you gently touch or hold her hand, you're not just making physical contact, you're creating a moment of emotional connection. It's like sending an unspoken message that says, "I'm here, I see you, and I respect you." Imagine walking together, maybe after a long day, and you reach out to hold her hand. That simple gesture can instantly shift the atmosphere. It's calming, reassuring, and comforting, It's a way of saying, "You're safe with me," without needing to speak a word. A gentle touch on the hand can trigger feelings of trust and warmth, making her feel valued and cared for. Whether it's lightly brushing your fingers against hers or holding her hand with a bit more firmness, this act of connection can be more intimate than it seems. Now, if we bring Stoicism into the picture, the philosophy teaches us to be mindful and present in our actions. A Stoic would approach something as small as holding hands with purpose, knowing that every touch, every gesture has meaning. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-control and intentionality in how we interact with others. So, when you touch her hand, don't just do it out of habit. Be present in that moment. Feel the warmth of her skin, notice her reaction, and appreciate the connection you're building. Holding hands or brushing her fingers lightly isn't just about the physical touch. It's about creating a shared moment of calm and reassurance. It's about being fully present, making her feel seen and understood. Have you ever noticed how a simple touch can change the entire vibe of an interaction? That's the magic of being mindful. When you touch her hand, you can make her feel like the most important person in the world, even if just for that moment. How often do we stop and think about the little things we do, like the way we touch someone's hand or the small gestures that build trust? What if we took the time to be fully aware of those moments, to see them as opportunities to strengthen our connection with others? All right, let's move on to the next part. But before we do, I noticed you haven't hit that like button yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube show our videos to more people and keeps our content coming your way. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It's free and it means a lot. Thanks, and let's keep going. Next, touching the neck. The neck is one of those areas that can feel incredibly intimate when touched, even with the lightest touch. It's a sensitive spot, both physically and emotionally. When you place your hand gently on a woman's neck, or maybe even brush her hair aside to touch the back of it, you're communicating a deeper level of closeness. It's like you're saying, "I trust you and I want to be close to you." This part of the body is often more vulnerable, so when she allows you to touch her neck, it's a sign of trust and connection. Imagine this. You're sitting close, maybe having a quiet conversation, and you lightly place your hand on her neck, just enough for her to feel the warmth of your touch. It can send shivers down her spine, not in an overwhelming way, but in a way that reminds her of how safe and special she feels in that moment. It's not about rushing or being aggressive. It's about the slow, mindful touch that tells her, "I'm here, I see you, and I want to share this moment with you." From a Stoic perspective, this act is also about being fully present and aware. Stoicism teaches us to engage with others with purpose and respect, always considering how our actions affect them. So, when you touch her neck, think of it as an opportunity to connect not just physically but emotionally. It's about understanding her comfort level, noticing her reactions, and being fully engaged in that moment. The neck is also linked to vulnerability. It's a place where people can feel exposed or protected. So touching her neck with care shows that you respect her boundaries, while also wanting to be close to her in a way that feels safe and intimate. It's a simple gesture, but it can spark a wave of emotions and sensations that bring you closer together. Have you ever noticed how something as small as a touch on the neck can change the mood of a moment? Maybe you've experienced it yourself. A light touch that made you feel more connected to someone. That's what makes it special. It's not just about physical contact, it's about understanding the other person's feelings and creating a deeper connection. Number 5. Touching the lower back. The lower back is another powerful area when it comes to touch. There's something about placing your hand gently on a woman's lower back that feels both protective and intimate. It's like you're saying, "I'm here with you, guiding you, and I've got your back." This small gesture can create a sense of security, making her feel more connected to you without needing to say a word. Picture this. You're walking together, maybe through a crowded place, and you lightly place your hand on her lower back as you guide her through. It's a subtle move, but it speaks volumes. It's not about control, it's about offering a sense of comfort and closeness, showing her that you're by her side, paying attention to her, and making sure she feels safe. It's a way of silently communicating, "I'm here for you." When it comes to physical touch, the lower back is a bit more intimate than, say, the hands or the shoulders. It's an area that's close to the core where emotions can be felt deeply. This part of the body is also connected to balance and movement. So when you place your hand there, it can create a sense of grounding and stability. For her, it's reassuring, like a reminder that someone cares and is looking out for her. Now let's bring in the Stoic perspective. Stoicism teaches us to be mindful of our actions, understanding that every gesture has an impact. When you touch her lower back, it's not just about the physical sensation. It's about being aware of how that touch makes her feel emotionally and making sure your intention is respectful and genuine. It's a reminder to be fully present, paying attention to her comfort and her reactions. In that moment, you're not just touching her body, but connecting with her on a deeper level, both emotionally and mentally. Think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where someone's simple touch on your back made you feel instantly more comfortable or supported? That's the power of this gesture. It's subtle, but it can change the entire dynamic of how connected you both feel in that moment. So, the next time you're close to her, remember that even a small touch on the lower back can create a stronger emotional bond. Number 6, touching the inner thighs. Touching a woman's inner thighs is one of the most intimate gestures, and it can create a deep sense of connection between you both. This area is incredibly sensitive both physically and emotionally, so when touched with care, it can send a powerful signal of desire and trust. The inner thighs are close to some of the most personal parts of her body, and that proximity alone makes the touch feel more intimate. But it's not just about the physical. It's about the anticipation, the buildup of desire that begins long before anything else happens. Imagine this scenario. You're sitting next to her, and your hand slowly moves to rest on her thigh. Not in a rushed or hurried way, but with intention, like you're saying, "I want to be close to you." That slow, deliberate movement creates a kind of tension, but in a good way. It allows her to feel the anticipation growing, and it's often in these moments of waiting where desire becomes most intense. You're showing her that you're not just after the destination, but that you're fully present in every small, intimate moment leading up to it. Touching the inner thighs helps her relax and opens the door to a deeper physical connection. The warmth of your hand, the gentle pressure, it signals to her body that she's safe, cared for, and cherished. And when she feels safe, she can let go of any tension or stress and be fully present with you, enjoying the moment. The inner thighs are especially responsive to light touches or soft strokes, which can heighten her arousal without overwhelming her. It's about creating a slow, steady buildup, allowing the connection between you to deepen naturally. From a Stoic perspective, this act isn't just about stirring desire, it's also about patience and mindfulness. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-control and the value of being present in every moment. By taking your time, by being thoughtful with your touch, you show her that you're not rushing things, but instead, fully engaging in the experience of being with her. This creates a sense of trust, and that trust makes the connection even stronger. Touching her inner thighs with patience and care communicates that you respect her boundaries and you're focused on her comfort and pleasure. It's not just about getting to the next stage. It's about enjoying the process of being close, of building something meaningful together. That's what intimacy is truly about. Not just the physical act, but the emotional bond that grows with it. Have you ever noticed how the smallest touches, the ones that seem so simple, often carry the most weight in a relationship? On another note, the philosophy of Stoicism teaches us to approach aspects of life, including sex and beauty, with balance and self-discipline. It encourages individuals to focus on inner virtues rather than getting swept away by external desires. By practicing self-control and developing virtuous qualities, we can create a more meaningful and enriching experience in our intimate relationships. Stoics believe that by focusing on inner virtues and being mindful in our relationships, we can find a deeper sense of fulfillment and happiness in our lives. This is especially true when it comes to building strong physical and emotional connections with our partners. Each gesture, whether it's gently placing a finger in a woman's mouth or exploring sensitive areas of her body, emphasizes the importance of trust, understanding, and being attentive in a fulfilling sexual relationship. I hope you found these insights helpful. They can encourage you to approach intimacy with more care and mindfulness. I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you learned from this video that you're excited to put into practice? Please share in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Your support and feedback allow us to keep creating valuable and informative content. Thank you for being part of our community.